Oh, there we go. I think we're live. Hi, good afternoon, Master O. How are you
Hi,
doing?
buddy.
All right.
I'm not too bad. How you getting on? How you getting on down there or up there?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm glad you can make it online today. And for those that are just tuning in, we're going to be talking about, well, Master O is going to be asking me some questions about my new podcast. I'm really excited about it, Everyday Martial Arts. So we're going to be exploring some, some of the martial arts topics. Master O was going to ask me some questions about what it's all about, and hopefully I can give you some info, and hopefully you'll tune in on a regular basis. So yeah, go for it.
Well, first of all, congratulations. It sounds very exciting.
Thank you.
So you're calling it Everyday Martial Arts. So what exactly are you trying to achieve here?
Well, I think my thing about martial arts, and particularly those of us that are in martial arts, we see it as a more of a lifestyle, really, more than anything, and something that we do actually live every day. I think it's difficult to be a serious martial artist and not think about it, and not do it in your everyday life. So I just wanted to have a show, and just to talk with people about their sort of everyday martial arts journey, and perhaps some of the things they've done in the past, some of the things they're hoping to do in the future, and hopefully try and inspire some people that already in the martial arts, and maybe inspire some people to take up the martial arts once they can see the benefits of actually doing it.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and I, for one, will be checking in on it and getting some interesting information from it and from you. So what exactly is the podcast all about?
Well, I think there's a lot of people doing podcasting now, and I know there are quite a few good martial arts podcasts out there. I was looking to do something slightly different because I'm looking to perhaps ask people about how they train, how they trained in the past, what type of training they do now, if they train at all, and how that training perhaps has changed. And hopefully during the podcast as well, some of the episodes of this podcast will actually be me training, doing my own personal training, and showing some of the things that I do in my everyday life, some of the equipment that I have here, how I use it, the benefits that I get from it. So it'll be focused on maybe the physical aspects of taekwondo martial arts. Obviously, taekwondo is the one that I do, but hopefully we'll get some other people on and find out what they do. But also some of the martial arts, the personal philosophy of some of the individuals that I can interview, and find out, perhaps the other side of the martial arts we don't actually hear about much. So that's that type of thing. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that sounds really inspirational. So who is your podcast for exactly?
Well, I'd like to think, like we all like to think, it's for everyone, but obviously we're going to have maybe an audience of people that already do martial arts and are looking for ways to be inspired, looking for ideas on how to train, looking for ideas on how to stay training, that type of thing. But also maybe for some new members as well, who are looking to do a martial art and want to know a little bit more about it. It's very difficult, I think, when you first go along and you see people in their martial arts kit, and sometimes it can all look a bit aggressive and a bit scary. It certainly was when I first looked at martial arts. But of course, the reality is very, very different. Most people that have been training the martial arts for a long time are really lovely people, and classes these days are very, very inclusive. So it's just really to give people an idea of perhaps what they can expect.
Yeah, well done, well done. So obviously, therefore, you'll be inviting guests onto your podcast.
Yeah, I will be.
Any big names apart from myself?
Well, I'm keeping them close to my chest at the moment. What I'd like to do is I'd like to get a good cross section. Actually, I'd like to get a cross section of people that I've known from the past, people that are currently, if you like, in their early stages of their martial arts journey. It's very difficult because martial arts, as much as there are different martial arts, there are different people doing it, and we're all doing it for different reasons. So I'd like to perhaps get some students on as well who I've taught, and get their thoughts on what they've gained from it. Maybe some senior instructors as well. I've also got an idea to get a few health professionals on who are into sports therapy, and any advice that they can give to budding martial artists about keeping their bodies safe and fit and that type of thing. So hopefully we'll get a good cross section of people.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Yeah, I for one will be looking forward to that. I think there's some great ideas there. Sadly, our lifelong friend Master Black died a number of years ago now. We're very close to him. And we used to have great fun that he was Master Black and you would always call yourself the Black Master.
Yeah.
And it was we had a lovely rapport. So I see that you're calling yourself the Dark Master. So is there any reason for that?
Yeah, that's really my alter ego, to be honest. I think most people know me as Master Gale. Obviously, you've known me as Ray since I was 8 years old, and we've had some good times since then. The Dark Master will be my podcast name, because there is a dark side to me as well, in the sense that I think like all of us, we present this this picture in front of our students, but actually they just see us in our teacher role, but we have other sides, and hopefully people will see the other side of me as well. So there'll be perhaps lots of different things that maybe I do in my everyday life that I'll try and mention as well, not just martial arts, because I think like yourself, I know you've got a few other interests that you do, and people may not be aware of that as well. So that's my other side, which I like to call the Dark Master rather than Master Gale.
Yeah, great. And I know you're very passionate about a lot of things and passionate about life in general. So again, I'll be looking forward to listening to that. That will be great. So I wish you all the best with that, Master Gale, the Dark Master.
Well, I'm going to give people a bit of an insight into some of the questions that I'm going to be asking, and I'm sure people want to know different things about individuals. But I think one thing they always want to know is a little bit about people's journey, where they've come from, and so on. So I'm going to ask you a few now. I'm going to ask you a few questions on some of the questions that I may be asking individuals. I've got my list here because I need a bit of reminding. So my first one is generally I'd ask people, if they can tell me a little bit about their own personal martial arts journey. So perhaps you can tell our listeners. I'm sure some of your students and some of the Puma students know about it, but I'm sure those that are tuning in who perhaps don't know a lot about us will be interested to find out more.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking. It might take a bit longer than we first envisaged. My favourite subject. I'm an expert on myself. Back in the day, we were 16, 17. We loved sport. You were very good at football. I like to think I was good at cricket. But we started to venture out to pubs and nightclubs, and there was a lot of trouble out there at that particular time. It wasn't like Beirut, but I don't think it was far from it. There was always fights kicking off, wasn't there, in nightclubs? We go to a nightclub, and there'd always be a fight kicking off. And you think, and we saw some horrific things as well. So I remember my dad, I got jumped on one night by 4 or 5 guys. And my dad, who was a World War II veteran, said, "Come on, son, you've got to toughen up." I came back with a black eye and noses across my face. And that sort of pushed us into researching the martial arts. So I went along to boxing. I didn't really like that. A friend of mine at work worked at the National Smelter Boxing Club in Avonmouth, which has some high-profile boxing. I just didn't enjoy that. So yeah, we looked into martial arts, and we had you went along to a couple of clubs because I was away at the time in Cambridge on a course, a 6-week course for the job I had at the time. Yeah. And you started singing the praises of Taekwondo, and I came along and watched it, and I was like, wow, this thing is, really exciting. We like the discipline aspect of it. And, here we are sort of, 40 years later, more than that actually, still enjoying the aspects. The aspects that we do it for now are totally different, aren't they? Before it was, for me, it was self-defense. Yeah. And then eventually, we got into competition, and we love competition. And, we were good at that.
Yeah.
And then we immersed ourselves in trying to become professional martial arts instructors, meaning, we get a living from it.
Yeah.
And now I think from the training side of it, it's just to keep me fit and keep me slim. I think we all struggle with that, especially with the food that's out there. We all like our fast foods, and we try and stay away from that. I know you're very strict on your diet. I'm a little bit lax at time to time. But, to this day, I still love the codes, the tenets, as we call them in Taekwondo, that they've given us. And I try my best to adhere to those, and just try and be the best I can be.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, as you say, I think we're doing it for different reasons. Maybe, now for longevity rather than self-defense, and, keep ourselves mobile and moving, as the joints tend to creak a little bit more these days. But so how, obviously we've come a long way, we've both come a long way together. So how would you say that you fit martial arts into your everyday life, at this time of your life?
We're both 60 this year, which is unbelievable, unforgivable.
Mention that. I'm going to edit that bit.
So I think that it seems to get harder. It's never been easy for me. I've always found it difficult, and just to keep myself fit, trying to remember all the patterns that we do. But it's not a case of it's all consuming, isn't it, for us? Because we run an association, a collection of instructors, and it just consumes everything we do. So I'm probably, my answer to it is I'm trying to do the opposite, trying to do less, and try and keep it manageable, so that I can do the things that I like gardening, cricket, and just spending time with my partner.
Yeah, definitely. So what would you say? I mean, I think for me, the main benefits that martial arts has given me very early on was confidence in myself that I could achieve. As a competitor, sometimes I went in there and I was thinking, am I good enough? And I came out the winner, and each time it was sort of building me stronger. I was getting mentally stronger each time. I started to have more confidence in myself than my teaching and just the things that I could do. I don't know. What do you think the main benefits that you've mentioned a few things, but the main benefits you think you've received from doing a martial art?
It makes you do things that you're uncomfortable doing, and you've got the courage and commitment to do things that otherwise I think I would never have aspired to. So I'm quite proud of the fact that I've just finished renovating a barn. Public speaking, even doing this, is really difficult if you've never done it before. And I think that just having the courage and commitment to, what the heck, do it anyway, and not being afraid of, people laughing at you. I mean, usually that's why I do a lot of these things. It is fun. It is fun to make mistakes and people laugh at you. And I think growing up, especially, I found it very difficult when I was at school. I was a normal sized guy, and then when I left school, I kept growing to, even now, if I go anywhere, people go, "Wow, you're tall." And when I was younger, that would ouch me a bit.
Yeah.
Some people say, "Oh, why are you so lanky?" or things like that. But it makes you a stronger person, and I just, I like to think that that's what Taekwondo martial arts have given us: the fear of getting rid of the fear of fear. Yeah. You still feel fearful, aren't you? If I said you come down play with the boys cricket, and my boys are bowling 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, you're going to be fearful. But I know you would say, yeah, okay, let's have a go. Yeah, most people wouldn't do that. And I think most martial artists are willing to give it a try. So no matter what it is, I mean, I've still got my glitches. I'm not brilliant using computers or savvy on internet. But then when I look at some of my other peers, some of them don't even have a computer. So you have to measure it, don't you? And I think that the martial arts has been a wonderful gift for us, and long may it continue. And other people hopefully will find the same.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a great word, actually. It has been a great gift for both of us. You know, we've had some fantastic times in martial arts. So, I mean, you sort of alluded to a couple of things there. So, one of the things I always like to find out about people is what they do when they're not doing martial arts. I know you've got a fairly busy life at the moment, so perhaps you can, you know, share some of that with us.
I think the thing with me is that Taekwondo and martial arts is my life. That's what I wake up in the morning. That's what I do. Whether as I do a couple of press ups, or this morning I've done some dumbbell presses, or I've taken the dog for a walk and I've lifted my knees and pumped my arms a bit more to get round the track faster and get my heart rate going. Martial arts is my life and I love it. But my passion is cricket. I just absolutely love it. And being an honorary Jamaican, as you know, and I used to tease you in front of your dad saying, I'm more of a Jamaican than you because I like me cricket and you don't like cricket. How can you kind of say of a Jamaican when you don't like the cricket? And I love cricket. And I think that's, you know, goes back to, we never went to private school. It seems that all the superstar cricketers that my son plays with predominantly come from high-ranking schools, fee-paying schools. And the reason I love cricket is because of my background. And I've been so lucky to have so many friends from, you know, Indian heritage, Pakistani heritage, Jamaican heritage in Bristol. And I love cricket. And the reason I love cricket is, again, it's not so much the sport, and I love the sports side of it.
Yeah,
but cricket is a great leveler. You can be a superstar. You can be the best cricketer in the world, multi-million pound earning cricketer. And you can go out and you can hit 100 runs or take 6, 7, 8, 9 wickets. And the very next day, you could play exactly the same team on exactly the same surface, and you could be out first ball. And I love it for that, especially for my children. You know, they've come back to me in tears when they were younger. You know, broken hearted. I'm saying, that's cricket. And they don't want to play it again. I'm saying, no, you have to play it again. And you have to, you know, I think Rudyard Kipling said that, you know, if you can take I don't know what the exact words are. I'm trying to be a bit clever here, aren't I? But
it's best to defeat the same way, isn't it? Yeah, treat them as the imposters that they are.
Yeah, both of them, you know, victories and losses, treat them the same, and you'll become a man. I'm still hoping that, you know, I live up to that from time to time. You know, we're all human beings. But cricket for me is my passion. I love it.
Excellent. Well, I can honestly say I've seen you play cricket, and I know you played at a very, very high standard, you know, as a cricketer, and I'm really pleased actually that your boys have taken that on, and you know, perhaps it's something in the genes, but I know that you played cricket with them from a very young age, and you know, they're both fantastic cricketers. So that must make you proud as well, you know, them following in your footsteps.
If there's one thing that I've left apart, you know, we're talking martial arts, apart from martial arts, is the fact that both my sons at the moment are very good age group cricketers. And I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the way that they hold themselves. And they, you know, I've seen them on the field of play, you know, at 10 years old, and they look broken. You know, the children, they're broken, and yet they'll pull themselves out and off they go again. And I think, again, credit to them. They're both playing age group cricket for Somerset. Alfie, my oldest son, is representing Dorset County Cricket Club in the next month or so. He'll have his name written on his back. So I can't wait to see that. You know, sort of, you know, my dream come true, really. And like I said, you know, to see them in that position, however far they take it, they'll have great life lessons because of that. And again, I think that I've installed some of the codes of martial arts in both boys. Never give up. It's never too late. Keep trying. And things do happen, and they do.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great, and I know that. I mean, for example, I mean, I started a while back doing a little bit of meditation and a bit of breath work and whatever, you know, for some relaxations, a few other things that I do as well. And I'm guessing, I don't know, perhaps you can put me right on this, is that you find that cricket almost a meditative practice when you do it, because I know sometimes when I speak to you after you've played cricket. You seem quite high on it.
Absolutely that, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I also, we all have, especially at the moment, I'd imagine a lot of people are finding it tough. I certainly am.
Yeah.
There has to be times where you have to have time to yourself. Yeah. And, I sit down sometimes just looking out of the window. I've got a lovely view where I live, and I'll just sit down there with a cup of coffee, and dare I say, a chocolate biscuit or two. And I just take it all in and think, how lucky we are. Look where we came from. We came from inner city Bristol. Yeah. And, we've traveled a long path, haven't we? Well, we were due to go to Norway, Korea, Australia. I was going to last year. So those little boys that used to play in St Andrews Park, playing football after school and on a weekend, we've done all right, really. And, I'm quite pleased and proud that we've traveled that and we've experienced it together, which is good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm coming to one of my last questions now that I'll probably ask some of the guests as well. And again, you sort of alluded to a few things there, but one of the questions was, if you had a time machine and you were able to go, back in time to a particular time, in your journey, your martial arts journey, your cricket journey, is there a particular time you'd go back to, and a particular time that you really can highlight and say, wow, that was a fantastic period in time?
Yeah, I think there's a number of things that we could go back to, but I do remember when you and I were in the Great Britain Taekwondo team, and we would go on tours. That was magnificent, wasn't it? And competitions that we did world championships where you'd have a large crowd cheering or chanting your name. Yeah. Clash of the Titans, where the top martial arts teams would fight. We've had some experiences with that. I mean, we're not particularly, roughy toughy guys, are we? No. But again, that's why, again, martial arts is such a great thing. You look at those Clash of the Titan events we did. I mean, then we took teams to them and they did well. Yes. And those events were brutal. Yeah. Fighting in the ring. And saying, oh, is this going to be a light continuous contact bout? You think, oh, I could do 3 bouts of that, and boom, you get a hit from the off. You think, wow, this isn't light contact. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, those times from a martial arts point of view were fantastic. When we first started Puma, those are fantastic days, as they are now, but especially when we first started, everything was new, and we had the founder of Taekwondo come over from Canada to open up our association. I mean, that was a magnificent time to spend more than a weekend with him.
Yeah, sure.
And he was very complimentary of us, wasn't he? So yeah, there's you could go on and on with those things, couldn't you? I'd also say it would be nice to get a time machine and go back to Sefton Park Junior School in the 60s, where we would play football and scuffle around with the other boys, and we had some great times there. As great characters, wasn't there?
Well, yeah, excellent. As you say, probably so many to choose from, really. But I mean, that's just a cross section. I'm glad I've asked you as my first guest here on my Everyday Martial Arts podcast. Those are the sort of questions I'm going to ask. We're probably going to leave it there, but I'm sure, and I hope that you'll be on again on a regular basis. We can chat about a few things, not necessarily martial arts, to be honest, but just life in general. I just want to thank you. I want to thank everybody who's tuned into this podcast, this very first one. Hopefully you'll tune into more. Have some information on follow me on social media, that type of thing, and the usual places. Master O, thanks very much. Anything you'd like to say before we...
Yeah, well, I wish you all the very best. It sounds exciting. I'm excited about watching it, and let's hope a lot of people do tune in and get some inspiration from you training and the types of things that you do, and some of the guests you get on. I'm sure it should light up their martial arts career.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thanks, team. We'll see you soon. That's us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care.